We have always said to everyone, why don't you come to the Fundacion in Colombia? It isn't difficult. One just has to take a flight from Nice to Madrid and then have a little patience since the plane for Colombia seems to never take off. Then once arrived to Bogota, go to the bus terminal and take a trip of 13 hours to Ocaña. Then after 25 more kilometers and 51 hours of travel, you have finally arrived.
Si tú quieres ser mi amiga, yo soy tu amigo. Seamos amigos, amigos especiales. Lo que quiero contigo.
Abrego is a city of about 30,000 inhabitants, which covers an area of about 960 square kilometers. It is in the department of Norte de Santander, one of the regions of Colombia bordering with Venezuela, and not far from other cities such as San Calixto and El Tarra.
Estoy viviendo en la selva, por tanto soy guerrillero.
San Calixto and El Tarra are in the heart of Catatumbo, a very, very beautiful region with many, many problems. There are hundreds and thousands of people who live in villages in the forest without electricity or roads, and in some cases with no schools. The people who live there many times have to walk for up to 10 hours on difficult trails across rivers and forests to reach the nearest town in order to find the basic necessities. In addition, Catatumbo is devastated by a 30-year war between guerrilla and governmental forces that has claimed more than 10,000 victims. There's also the enormous problem of the cocaine plantations that represent the sole source of income for many farmers, which has given Catatumbo the sad record of 40 tons of cocaine produced per month. As a result, many young people in Catatumbo have only two possibilities: either work on these plantations or be enrolled in the guerrilla warfare forces. Only 5% of the population has completed elementary school, and if one considers that 80% of the population is under 30 years of age, it's easy to understand that the future, the majority of the youth, is completely compromised, together with that of the region. The future is compromised unless a new mentality emerges based on justice, pardon, and peace. Let's get back to Abrego. The city center is situated on a plateau at 1,400 meters altitude. The mean temperature is 18 to 28 degrees year-round, and life is generally peaceful, in contrast to what happens a short distance away. The Fundacion OASIS de Amor Y PAZ is located 1 kilometer from town, and at the moment covers almost 14 hectares, something that didn't exist a few years ago. The idea to try something in this land came to us in May of 2006, when we asked some friends and the city of Abrego for help. The mayor initially promised the land for free, although he later reneged and we had to purchase 5 hectares of land where in October of 2006 the first building began. In 2007, the first 10 children found hospitality in the only house present on the land at the moment of the purchase. In the meantime, we began to promote our ideas in the Diocese of Ventimiglia-Sanremo, and the first fundraising began in the parish of Santa Maria degli Angeli of Sanremo. For this reason, the first building on the site is called Casa degli Angeli. From that moment on, we were able to count on the solidarity of many people who have given a good deal of help. The Fundación was officially inaugurated on January 20th, 2007 by the Bishop of the Diocese of Ventimiglia-Sanremo, His Excellency Alberto Maria Careggio, and together with him the Bishop of Ocaña, Monsignor Jorge Enrique Lozano Zafra, and many other people. At that time, only the first floor of the principal building was ready, but 3 months later it was rapidly completed. Since then, the Fundación has grown by leaps and bounds thanks to the solidarity and help of many people who believed in this idea of peace. The fields have grown from the initial 5 hectares to the present 14. Cultivations include bananas, corn, yucca, fruit trees, and sugarcane, among other things. We also raise many animals such as fish, chickens, cattle, and pigs. The fish were the first, and we employed a local system of using 6 tanks that can contain up to 15,000 animals. The pigs constitute an important source of revenue for the Fundación that initially purchased a particularly prolific variety that has resulted in the production of many more piglets than the norm. This is very important if one considers that a young pig in that region corresponds to a 1/5 of the normal monthly salary of a local worker. The fruit and animals produced contribute almost entirely to the alimentary needs of the Fundación. Any excess is sold, and the funds obtained are used for purchasing seeds, fertilizer, and new animals. For the kitchen, only those things not directly produced by the Fundación are purchased, such as rice, pasta, bread, and those fruits that we do not produce. After the first house, 3 more were built. Since the beginning of 2011, the Casa Italia hosts children that can no longer be housed in the original building. It also has a space for those who play in the musical group of the Fundación known as L'Agrupación OASIS. The building that houses the working youth is currently being amplified so that there will be room for those young people who take the SENA Specialized Agricultural Course, a Colombian organization with which we have stipulated an accord for holding formative stages. The most recent building, constructed thanks to the help from the Friends of Oscar, on one side hosts a handicrafts laboratory, on the other the tienda, a shop which this year began selling the surplus of our productions. With the help of divine providence, this building will grow even more, so as to be able to contain a new music room, an auditorium, an informatics room, and a school of theater and dance. As a result, the Fundación has grown thanks to the Onlus Association Angeli di Pace Sanremo that sustains it from Italy. We hope to make it grow even more since there is still much to be done in this area. We realize that our contribution is still a mere drop in an ocean in tempest, but we are convinced that one day this drop will be able to calm the storm. Even with all of these new buildings, there's still not enough room to house all of the youth that ask for help. The worst days are at the beginning of January, when we have to choose from numerous requests that come from those who, in our opinion, are the most needy. It is difficult and painful to have to choose. The stories that we hear are always very bad and narrate unimaginable situations that unfortunately exist. Sadly, we are forced to tell many that we cannot accept them, although we never leave anyone alone. We seek to find different solutions, like giving, for example, the funds needed for schooling, a cost that many families of the area cannot sustain. We also help many university students who live in Bogota or Cúcuta. During the first year of the Fundación, about 20 young people were assisted at home. Now there are 150. We face many challenges, often without really knowing how things will come out. But up until now, and with the help of many people, we have always won these tests. At the same time, the youth assisted at home have helped to bring up those hosted at the Fundación, who are currently 50. The day of their arrival, which is normally a Friday, is a fiesta. Tradition dictates that the people who accompany the new inhabitants remain as our guests until Sunday. This is important for the orientation of the new inhabitants and so that their relatives can be reassured about where they will be living for the next year. During those 3 days of celebrations, people visit all angles of the Fundación and are positively impressed by the high quality of the stables and the field. The kitchen in those days is extremely busy, and every angle of every house is utilized for providing a place for everyone to sleep. We also want to talk with everyone in order to get to know them and to be able to tell them what is in store for them and what rules to follow. While it is important to give as much as possible, we want the youth to understand that all they receive is the fruit of the sacrifice of many people who from the other side of the world believed in this project. It is moving how many thank yous we receive in those days. The day at the Fundación begins very early. The alarm rings at 4:45 a.m. and at 5:30 there's breakfast. This allows those children who go to the 2 high schools in the city to arrive in time for the first bell at 6:30. The Fundación hosts children of all ages, from those who are still in elementary school up to those already in colegio, an equivalent of middle and high schools. There's an additional group who works during the day and then comes to the night school, Colegio Nocturno. The school ends at about 12:30. After lunch there is study time, but also other things. They must take turns helping in the kitchen, either serving the food or cleaning up. They are also employed in maintaining order and cleanliness, in gathering the fruit, in washing their personal belongings, leaving only larger items for the washing machines. All of this is done with a smile and without protest, and their ability of organization also gives them free time for playing and relaxing. After dinner, we end the day with what we consider the most important moment, the evening meeting. At that time, the children discuss that which has happened during the day and organize the activities for the next day. All of this is done with a spirit of collaboration, friendship, and peace. When we participate in these meetings, we are proud and think that at least one of our objectives has been reached. After the meeting, everyone goes to bed. Tomorrow the sun will shine on the Fundación OASIS De Amor Y Paz, and a new day will begin. A day that will be happy thanks to all of you.